I mean, the way we were doing it was there'd be, used tires in the garbage can. So we were always the guys to run the stuff out of the garbage can, whether it's used tires, bent bars we'd take home and straighten, just because the amount of stuff I was going through. Like I said, we were literally taking clutch plates out, and I'd seen my dad scraping them on the cement when we're at tracks and stuff. Jet stepped it out. He's the freaking gnarliest dude right now, and he looks so methodical when he rides. Like, he doesn't look like he's just, pinned and getting sketchy and sending it.
Yeah, but with all that being said, you're probably going to smoke him on a two-stroke at Washougal.
If I can keep from getting lapped by Jet when I'm on the two-stroke at Washougal, that'll be like a win for me.
Like, I love KTMs. I love the KTM 350. That's my favorite bike, but I'm still on the old frame, and I'm not in a rush to change. Like, I've got a bunch of all my parts and all that sort of stuff. Like, I feel like I'm real comfortable on that bike, but you can see the difference between the last generation frame and then this new generation KTM frame is so much stiffer. And then you're seeing Cooper Webb not want to ride that bike outdoors. You're seeing all those guys go, like, I think AP's running stock forks with the cone valve inserts instead of 52s. And so it's so weird to me that manufacturers now, I mean, I don't know so much about the other bikes because I haven't spent that much time on them, but it's like they're just going stiffer and stiffer and stiffer and stiffer at like the OEM level. And I mean, I know you've got like 96 CRs. I've got one of those bikes. You ride one of those things and it's like the frame flexes when you kickstart the thing. Which it's not the best for like longevity, but if you compare that bike there to like a 2023 KTM 450, it's like, dude, what are we even riding right now?
Yeah. I'll tell you what, that 96 CR252 stroke, still one of the best bikes that was ever made. Like, I'll get on that thing and, I'll have, a 450 out there, a modern 450, and then my dad will have his 96 CR252 stroke out there. And I can't tell you how frustrating it is when I do some lap times for fun between the two, and the 96 feels better, rides better, lap times are better half the time, and it's like, man, because that bike was skinny, the suspension was pretty good, and it handled like a dream. And it's like you said, the steel frames, they wear out though and all that, but Honda, that 96, man, they had that thing dialed.
Yeah, and the difference though, like, how do we get from that bike, which everybody loved, to the bikes that we have now, that it's literally like your teeth are gonna fall out sometimes. Like, if you're not pushing super hard and like got your bike dialed in, it's like your teeth are gonna rattle out of your head at times.
Oh, for sure. I mean, the bikes these days are, like you said, extremely rigid, and I think going through the whoops and Supercross and all that, with them being more rigid, they are more consistent, at least for me.
Yeah.
Like, I'm an aluminum frame guy, just the sense of it's consistent. Like, if I'm going to bash that thing into a hole or hit a rut or whatever, it's not going to flex around and rubber band me off the bike. And I've really struggled with that on steel frame bikes. And I think, KTM, They do have that new design with their, where their shock is mounted and everything, which is, when I talk to them, it's better for the whoops and everything. I haven't spent a lot of time on that new frame either, but it's definitely stiff, and I know some guys are complaining about it, but at the same time, I'm like, that KTM frame can be a struggle, but I really like the aluminum frame at the same time, so it's like, the steel frames almost need to flex a little bit and not be stiff, because they have that deflect feeling. Like you said, that last generation KTM, that frame was pretty dang good. And I get it. Like, for most guys, the steel frame way better. Like, I would recommend it to most guys. I'm a steel frame guy, I'm an aluminum frame guy through and through. It's what I grew up on though, with, the BBR aluminum frames. So I like a really rigid bike, and I don't like that thing flexing.
Yeah, okay. So, but then that's like a juxtaposition between the 96 being your favorite bike.
Exactly. Like it's a hard, it's a hard place, because like the 96, most fun bike to play on. You can go extremely fast on the thing, and then it's like you got the aluminum frame 4-stroke, more heavy, more powerful. You can get the job done on it, but it's more of a struggle.
Yeah. So what's your favorite alloy frame these days? Like what bike do you think really nails it?
I've been riding the Yamaha 450. I really like that bike. I know that
the 23
the current one, the 23 guys are saying, it's rigid, but kind of like I was saying, I like that really rigid feel. My favorite aluminum frame ever was 2016 CRF 250R. That thing, like the geometry of it, the head tube angle, that's been my favorite aluminum frame ever. That whole bike, like people said, those 4-stroke Hondas were slow those years, and out of the box maybe, but cams in a piston, and that thing revved to the moon. And I really like that whole bike.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I mean, I don't know why, it's just the moto nerd in me, but I love the generations of like different frames, how they feel. Like the 2012, I've got a 2012 CRF 450 with a 98 CR 250 motor in it. And I haven't like spent the time to get it fully dialed and kind of done yet. But I mean, you ride that thing, and that's like such a cool, light feeling bike. And I think that was a frame that I liked, and a 450 that felt pretty comfy back then. But I was at Trentino MXGP this year, and Roman Fevra has this like custom Cowie factory frame, and like, dude, that thing, I've never seen a bike handle that good in my entire life. And like, you could hear this like dull thud when he hit bumps, and I was like, man, that thing just sounds like so good.
Yeah, one thing I gotta say about those Cowies, man, like they are pretty dang spot on the setup. The peg to triple clamp to bar position and bodywork, Cowie always seems to nail that stuff so well. And the frame, flexibility, all that stuff. That's one thing, like with the Cowie, that's really impressive every time I ride one. And I'm excited to try that new one that they just came out with, that next generation one. But like you said, it looks like it's running really good, if that's the production frame on that thing.
We're excited to announce the launch of our new membership site, gypsytales.com, packed with exclusive content and perks that you won't find anywhere else. This is your chance to become a part of the Gypsy Gang. And as a special bonus, if you sign up to an annual membership, you'll be entered into the draw to win our custom-built TC125. Gypsy Gang.